being an artist.
More musicians and artists than
So I wanted to thank the people that are still here. My father, Don thought of my father as a father because his fathers were, after he moved here, he rarely had any contact with Imhoff and his biological father. And I'm one of the few people that ever met the mother and the father. He brought his father over to my business, and I got to talk to him. But this has been spectacular because for the last few years I've been going through everything, and I've been trying to get everything ready to represent this, to get Don's work in a book form, in a retrospective, and then the music, and then there's the music. Look, I was going to tell this. Donald John Evans is his given name. Then it was DJ, then DJ-E, and then Mr. Mirror. Some of you remember from that. That's a long time ago. Not Snave, which was Don Evans backwards. Through Don Evans, Visual Antique, Don John Evans. And we met at Trinity and in the printmaking class, and when we were in there, we were doing lithographs, and man, that was so wonderful. He would do a litho, and I would do a litho. And he would give me a copy, and he would give me a copy. So I have copies of his first works that are amazing. So after that, then we did the key flow. Oh wait, there was the golden age of the time machine, where a lot of you people met him. Joe came over and he says, "Hey, they're going to put this restaurant together, and they want people to dress in costumes, and if you go, they're spending $1 million on antiques and blah 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 blah." And so Don and George, where's George? Don and George went to go, but I had a job, so I didn't go.
You had a real job.
Yeah. And you got in front of him, and you got to be a waiter, and Don got to be the.
No, I knew the guy. We went to high school together, you know. So that's my. Yeah.
So you gave him a $5 bill, and he.
I did.
So Don had to be a busboy.
Yeah.
Okay, but the golden age of Magic Time Machine. Joe was a bumblebee, and then so many of you. How many people here worked at the time machine? You did? Oh no, that don't count. This guy I've known him for fucking years. Anyway, so the golden age of the time machine was like spectacular. Don was Groucho Marx, and there's pictures of him on Facebook. But he was a billboard. I remember driving down the highway, and there was a billboard, and it was Don as Groucho Marx. He was in a magazine. He was in a magazine in an advertisement for Magic Time Machine, but it was insane. It was so wonderful. It was so great. And so then Joanne worked there, and then Pat, did you work there? No. You?
No, Gary worked there.
Gary Watson.
Cheryl worked there. That's right.
Yeah. So all these people, and then and Mike Davidson. After that he had to leave to go because. In July the 4th weekend, when we're going to put Don into the Guadalupe, because that's where we partied for 40 years, and that's what he wanted. So we'll put his ashes there and have a party for him, because that Mad Dog, Mike Davidson, was the guy that puts that together. There's Carol. Hi, Carol. Yay. Okay. So he's got his sister here, and Michael, and Missy, and so then there was Keflo Turtle, and we became friends with our professors. Mel Casas, my father became friends with Mel Casas because of Samoma. Bob Tiemann, and I got in touch with Frank Hine, who was very influential to Don and I. And we had him at different times, but Mel Costas is getting his recognition now. He's had numerous shows, and he's at the McNay. I am getting in touch with people about a retrospective for Don, and then that's the visuals, and then there was Samoma, and and the mutagenic Buster, and I was pointing out that my father paid for ads in the mutagenic Buster, and they were like $15, so we could print up that magazine that's over there on that table. If you know which one it is, that was an art magazine. Nobody did that, and it was because of Don and Jim Harder and all these different people. Then there was those number 2 dinners started because Samoma was closing. We had 2 different locations, and we put a band together. And then after that, we played for many, many, many years and did all kinds of things. Then we had Batteries Not Included, and I didn't play an instrument until I was halfway through the number 2 dinners. And then it was Joe Puglisi, me, and Don. Then there's El Even Today, and then that's James and me and Stephen Rayna and Don. And Jesse sits in every once in a while and sings with us. He knows his words to the songs. Numerous group shows, time capsule, the numerology. He loved numerology. 1111. I'll explain that to you some other time because it's really involved. Zodiac, he was a Scorpio, like my father, and they're a little testy to deal with. But so me being a Taurus, so we hit it off. There was the triangle of the isosceles triangle, and it was George, me, and Don, and then the brothers of the cosine would be Don and I, and then George. Really, when he was doing the information shows and everything, he just hit his kindred spirit with Don, and they did a bunch of. But I have from the beginning, I always believed that we were doing something important. I always believed that we were doing something important. I have newspaper articles, magazine articles. I have slides. I have pictures. I have 8mm films. I have everything that can, the invitations and all these different things. The posters, everything. So I have been putting it all together, and all this stuff it's a beginning for me because I knew this was coming. I really did know this, and I had it in the back of my head for many, many years now, and I've been putting everything together, and this is so wonderful that all of you people have come. This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing that some of you are alive, really. I mean, I tell you what. Special thanks to Joe Pug because you would not believe. I mean, he has been inundated with Ernie Garibay. He put a benefit for him, and Jesse's band played, and it was amazing. And,
Great.
yeah, that was wonderful. Yeah, Sonny Ozuna and Augie Myers that came up and did 2 songs. It was amazing. So we have always been doing something. We've always been either in art or in music or in performance or whatever. And because of that, then all these other circles have touched. And the fact that Joe, they really go way, way back. And I knew Joe from Holmes. And then so there's that circle. And I was supposed to go to Jeff, but I didn't go to Jeff. But then I kept up with all these, all my friends from Longfellow. So that circle coincided with the other circle of Holmes. So later on this evening at my house, cake and champagne. We love you. Thank you so much. Don has been leading me to do a number of different things, and like I gave some people a DVD of a performance of the Los Number 2 dinners at the Patio Bar and Grill. It's a rockumentary. It's amazing. And the thing that really hit, we watched it one night. John Michael and Francine and Jesse for a while and James. And Don starts just pounding the drums. He's just pounding the drums and he starts singing 96 Tears. And then he turns it into We Can Be Heroes by Bowie. And it was just like, wow. So those of you that have that DVD, I'm going to make more of them, but I made 20 of them, and I'm going to try, we're going to get all this stuff out there because I believed that everything that we did was for a reason, and we learned so much. And I'm sad that the aliens didn't come down to meet Don because we believe in aliens. Sorry, but we do. We do. We thought it was going to end in 2012. Seriously, and it came and it went away. So I'm Norman. Thank you very much. Don loves you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.